Having conquered the heavyweight division, Devon would move up back to the super heavyweights. And there, he would face the Georgian general Gennady Quickvinia. Gennady has had quite a few back and forth battles at King of the Table and East vs West. Ranked top 5 in the league, he is an arm wrestling veteran, known for his incredible spirit and mental strength, as well as being the last true person to beat Levan. It was clear that a war was about to take place. As I have previously mentioned, Devon's belief at the time was that if he was simply able to crack someone's wrist, it will be enough to win any match. But this battle, this war, would force his philosophies to change. In the first round, Devon's game plan works exactly as advertised, as he is immediately able to control the center with his pronator, making Gennady unable to cup him. He starts driving to the side, putting the shoulder behind his arm, engaging the tricep, putting Gennady into the worst possible position to tire him out. Then he receives a controversial elbow foul, and a restart. Even with that elbow foul, Devon seems to be in the driving seat, ready to take a clean win. But Gennady wouldn't give up that easily. On the restart, Gennady shoots forward with the shoulder, going for a flop, and Devon gets pushed off the back of the pad. This way, Gennady takes the first round. That's when Devon realized that there was more threat coming from Gennady, and because of that, off the go in the second round, he chooses to go inside to avoid the flop, a position he hasn't trained for some time. Still, he manages to get into a very efficient position. Then he tries to reverse out to can open, goes back with the shoulder, repositions to engage it even more, and eventually bleeds Gennady and takes the round. But that round caused a lot of wear and tear on both athletes. The score is 1-1. Third round, Devon sets up way forward, coming in for the press. And he gets it. 2-1 Devon. Devon is now again very confident, believing it's done. However, off the go in the fourth round, Gennady blasts with a flop and Devon's back pressure is unable to hold. 2-2, and we go to the silver bullet. Round 5. Both athletes set up as forward as possible. Gennady to engage the flop, Devon to maximize his side pressure. Ready go, and Gennady blasts with the press, but his palm hits the wrist of Devon. He is unable to go under his arm, but still, Devon just barely manages to drag it to his side. But he does, almost managing to pin Gennady in the process. But then the match gets turned inside. Devon presses the leg into the table to maximize his side pressure. He engages the shoulder, but Gennady has access to his arm. With Devon's arm being already gassed, Gennady drives and he almost breaks Devon's arm in the process, who has to elbow forward. They restart and off the go. It's a flash pin from Gennady Quickvinia. Now, upon further analysis, something very interesting happens in this moment right here. We see Gennady first go without his wrist, but then regaining it right after. That happened because Devon guessed incorrectly where Gennady would take the match. He likely expected Gennady to hook, but Gennady flopped instead, and with that, Gennady secured the win. It was a win which was well deserved after an absolute war, but also highly controversial due to the aforementioned elbow foul. Devon took a lot from this match. He realized that simply relying on taking hand control in a match doesn't work, because an opponent can still force it arm on arm with a flop. That's why he would incorporate an inside game into his workout routine and also into his future matches. And a rematch between these two was due to take place as soon as possible. But before that, Devon Larratt would return to Arm Wars, this time competing at the Arm Wars Battleground, where he would absolutely smash Mindaugas Dulskas and Daniel Lundkristanen. Right after, he would go on to face the Bulgarian legend Jordan Zonev, and there he would receive the best left arm workout of his life. First round of the go, Jordan tries going inside, but a couple surges later, Devon's pronator takes the wrist of Zonev. Zonev then tries surging a few more times even without the wrist. He actually manages to extend the bicep of Devon, but eventually he gives it up, and it's 1-0 for Devon Larratt. Second round, Zonev explodes to the side. Devon takes the wrist again, but his bicep gets completely torn open over and over again. With brutal explosivity, Zonev tries everything in his power to get it done, to get deep in, and Devon barely manages to defend. However, Tsonev eventually gets tired and concedes. And it's now 2-0 for Devon. Third round, Tsonev hits inside. Devon cracks the wrist. He tells Tsonev to give up.
In that down position.
But Jordan responds with absolutely ridiculous, insane drives until he and Devon both elbow foul at the same time. On the restart, Tsonev tries flopping off the go, but Devon absorbs it and gets another round. 3-0. Fourth round, Tsonev again puts insane drives to get even. The bicep of Devon is absolutely dying. However, Devon then stands up. He puts the shoulder forward, gets inside, and manages to hold the power of Tsonev and win the match in a hook. 4-0 Devon Larratt. What a show. Now after having fun on the left, Devon would go back to business to the right arm. He'd go on to face Easy Money Dave Chaffee. Now remember how their match went the first time in 2019. There, Devon was completely unable to match the force of Dave, winning by the skin of his teeth by the dirtiest possible King's move. With that in mind, let's take a look at how it went this time. First round, Devon applies a ton of pronation and back pressure right off the go and immediately manages to crack the wrist of Dave. Dave tries hitting, he gets stopped, then tries going forward to regain the wrist, reverses out, tries pressing, but Devon contains it all. On the restart, Devon decides to test himself. Now if you'll recall, Devon changed up his training methods after his match with Gennady, and he decided to test the effectivity of the new training methods. Uncharacteristically, Devon comes inside and actually manages to set the hook against Dave. He engages the shoulder well, secures the center, and gets to Dave. Then another restart happens due to a foul for Devon. Dave surges, but Devon absorbs it in an outside lane and counters with pronation. 1-0 Devon. Second round, Devon goes outside. He cracks the wrist of Dave, holds Dave on the offense, and gets the pin. 2-0 Devon. Third round, even more uncommonly, Devon goes for a press, transitions into a shoulder engaged hook, sits there, waits to see what Dave does, but Dave has no lane to go to. There is nothing for him. 3-0 Devon. Fourth round is literally all for the memes. Devon goes for the King's move, walking to Dave.
Yeah, equivalent size boy! Yeah, equivalent size boy!
Dave tries pressing, going through all the lanes. Devon can opens, gets it.
Control there, gives
Can
that.
opener!
4-0. Now fifth round, Devon has already won and starts playing even more. He tries going for a flop press, but that proves to be a crucial mistake. Dave manages to catch Devon there and pulls him out of his position. He gets on the offensive and almost pins Larratt. Devon has to quickly transition outside, and he barely stops it, eventually bleeds out Dave and wins the round. But that was quite close, showing that their level may not even be that far apart, but Devon's ability to utilize his power is unbelievably proficient. Sixth round is for the memes again. This time it's a double King's move from Devon and also from Dave. Some yapping takes place from the athletes.
Kings, there it is. They are both right under the table, crossing each other's legs.
Press.
And 75% of the people watching the pay-per-view have just thrown up at home.
Devon then closes his arm angle and gets a dominant win over Dave Chaffee. 6-0. This match showcased the progress Devon had made over the years. Since the match in 2019, he continued to refine his style and gain so much pure strength. It was unbelievable, and it was all put on display here. A month later, Devon would have some fun on the left arm again, crushing Sergey Palenchenko, before going back to business again on the right. Now next up, Devon was supposed to go on to face Gennady Quickvinia again, as there was some unfinished business from earlier. However, Gennady would go on to injure himself, and the organizers were forced to find a replacement. And the athlete who would eventually show up would be no other than the current #1 super heavyweight world champion at the time, Hermes Gasparini. Levan Saginashvili got injured in the middle of 2023, and Hermes would subsequently attain the super heavyweight title in a match against Jerry Garrett, technically crushing him 3-0. This match was a chance for Devon to get to the top once again, and he would come in ready. In the first round, the game plan of Devon is obvious. His goal is to take everything possible from Hermes in the setup, completely ruining his connection to the wrist. Hermes gets very uncomfortable with what Devon is doing, getting a foul for moving in a referee's grip and then also for elbow fouling. That secures the first round for Devon.
And that is a pin for Devon. It was off the front of the pad, but more important.
Second round out of straps, we see Hermes' wrist cracking, and in the straps, Hermes gets fouled again for moving, and then on the restart, there is finally a proper ready go.
Devon closed first. Here comes Hermes. Go! On the way we go!
Hermes drives to the side, but Devon applies his classic pronating back pressure, and he swiftly cracks the wrist of Hermes Gasparino. With the wrist secured, Devon starts driving to the side. He closes his arm angle, engages his shoulder, and gets the win. 2-0 Devon. Third round out of straps. Hermes holds on to Devon and starts talking to him, wanting to go into the hook. Devon actually starts to slowly reposition himself inside, but it's a trick from Hermes, because Hermes then quickly rolls out and tries to stop rolling. However, Devon catches it, and eventually is back to center, and then they slip. They go to the straps, and there Devon explodes to the side, and Hermes has absolutely nothing to stop it. 3-0 Devon. Dominant win against the super heavyweight world champion. Just a year after losing to Devon was once again at the top of the world.